We're starting to separate the pretenders and the contenders in the Eastern Football League this season, but there are no pretenders here on EFL TV. All thanks to Ferntree, Gully, Holden and HSV, where driving and local footy means a great deal. Can you believe it? We're a quarter of the way through the EFL season already. Week 6 coming up in the EFL. Plenty of great games. We'll talk about some of those games in a minute. To help me do that is the big man himself from the EFL media team, Peter Baird. Frosty, can you believe we're already a quarter of the way through? And I think we're starting to find out who are the pretenders and who are the contenders.
It's always going to take 4 or 5 weeks to really get a good read on a lot of teams. I think Division 1, we're really starting to get an idea of who could be that fifth side to fill that top 5. The top 4 are always going to be a lock at the start of the year, and I think the ladder's starting to take shape. I don't think we're going to see too many changes come the end of the year.
Well, let's have a chat about that now. Of course, the big 4 you talk about is Baldwin, Norwood, Noble Park and Vermont. All had victories on the weekend. Now, Knox currently sit inside that top 5. Lilydale has shown some good form as well. East Ringwood had their first win on the weekend. Blackburn have shown some good form. Who's the team that's going to be who's going to take that 5th spot in the ladder, do you think?
At the start of the year, I sort of thought it might be Knox. They're currently in 5th position. They've looked really good at times throughout the year. They've gone back to a little bit of playing that defensive style of footy that we've seen over Knox over the last few years, and it probably took Norwood 2 or 3 quarters to really break through that on the weekend. I don't know. It could be Lilydale. It could even be Blackburn if they get on a bit of a roll. But the other team that will definitely come with a bit of a late season charge from what I saw on the weekend was East Ringwood. They've had a really tough start to the year, playing 4 finalists from 2012 in the first 4 rounds. They had their first win on the weekend, and East Ringwood Tuesday looked very, very impressive.
Very, very good, and you might even see some of their highlights a little bit later on in the program in the EFL TV Play of the Week. Now, another game that was played on the weekend, you didn't even mention Scoresby and Roeville on that occasion, but Scoresby were able to get a victory in that game against local rivals Roeville. And Billy Vickers headed out there because it was a special occasion for the Hicks family, as Roeville's Nathan took on Scoresby's Jared and Ryan in a unique occasion, and Billy was out there.
We understand that it's the first time that you three, the Hicks brothers, have played against each other in Division 1 footy. Is that right, Ryan?
That's correct. It was my 3rd game today. These 2 have played a bit, but yeah, the first time we've all played together, yeah.
Very nice. And Nathan, you're the odd one out here. Can you just explain to us, how did you end up at Roeville, mate?
Probably 3 years ago now. Just wasn't getting a game at Scoresby. Wasn't good enough. So I just got a good offer from Roeville, and I've been there since.
And it looks like an inspired move because you've been kicking a few bags of goals this season. It looks like you're really enjoying yourself over just down the road, really?
It's been a great transition. I've enjoyed my time at Roeville, and I've got a really good relationship with the coach, and he knows how I play, and the team know how I play, and just really enjoying the time down there at the moment.
And we'll move on to the footy. Firstly, a big congratulations to Scoresby, Ryan and Jared. You moved to now 2 and 3 for the season, which is you're starting to get on the right track. It was a good effort by the boys today.
Yeah, I mean, it's just good to turn around things. We've been pretty close against Knox and South Croydon, so it was good to just get on the winners list again.
It looks like you're playing a role. You're swapping with the other big boy, Reese Van Unen. You're doing a bit of you're pinch hitting in the ruck and then also moving forward. Is that the tactic? And do you enjoy the role in the team at the moment?
Yeah, well, that's the same thing I've been doing for, 3 or 4 years now. So just give Reece a chop out in the ruck and, yeah, mainly forward.
What about Sean Kavanagh? He's new to the club this season. What's he brought to the table at Scoresby? And it just looking today, there was good pressure around the ground. It looked like a really solid 4-quarter performance. It looks like you're playing well. What's been Sean's impact at the club?
He's been really good this year. He knows most of the list through the Colts over the last 6 or 7 years, so he knows a lot of the boys, and he makes good relationships with everyone. And he's really got us on the right track at the moment. 2 wins in a row. So,
Nathan, unfortunately, another loss for Roeville. Div 2 premiers last year. You've come up. It was a reasonably positive start to the season, but just dropping off a little bit, unfortunately, in the last 2 weeks. How have you seen it? What's going wrong? What was the issues today?
Well, I would have say we pulled one out of the box, round 1. Since then, we've been playing pretty consistent footy, I thought. Last week, going down to Ballin by 29 points. Thought we played a pretty good game. Still going down, better team on the day. Scoresby today just had us covered around the stoppages. Marcius, Parker, they were hard to stop. And we didn't bring our game, to be honest. So today definitely was probably not a good step in the right direction. So we've really got to bounce back next week.
I understand all three living at home still. Mum and Dad, they must have taken out a few weekends on you three growing up. How does the food going around the house at the moment? I can understand you must be going a fair bit, and you must be proud of your parents for putting up with the three of you.
Yeah, I've been trying to. Yeah, I eat the most, but I've been putting some laxatives in Nathan's food over the last week, so he couldn't play his best today, and I think it worked.
Let's have a look at Division 2, Frosty. And the top 4 and the top 5 is starting to take shape. It's very, very close, as it normally is in Division 2 right throughout the season. Can you see many changes happening as we progress through 2013?
Well, as we said about Division 1, it takes 4 or 5 weeks for the ladder to start to take shape, but I think there's 5 sides now that are really staking a claim to play finals. You've got the 2 undefeated teams sitting on top of that Division 2 ladder, Montrose and North Ringwood, and then there's 3 other sides battling for 2 positions at the moment. I reckon your finalists are going to come from those 3 sides. You've got Croydon, you've got Muralbark, and you've got Donvale. Donvale had a disappointing loss on the weekend, but they still sit within that top 4. They're just ahead of Muralbark. I reckon the Mustangs are the only team that can displace one of those teams within that top 4 at the moment, so we'll have to wait and see.
Speaking of tight though, Frosty, Division 3 was very tight towards the end of last year, and 2013 looks like we'll get a repeat dose of that because there are some great teams out in Division 3 all vying for that premiership in Division 3 to get up towards Division 2. A big game this weekend between Wantirna South and the Basin, where we'll find out a lot about the Basin in particular, but also about Wantirna South, who have been very, very impressive over the past couple of weeks.
They have. The Devils are just rolling along really nicely at the moment. And as you said, Division 3 is just so tight. No team now is undefeated in Division 3, with the Basin knocking off Mitcham last week. So you've probably got 7, 8, maybe 9 teams really staking a claim in Division 3 to play finals football. So, I mean, it's anyone on their day, if they bring their best game, can probably knock off any other team in Division 3. So it's a fantastic competition. We're going to learn a lot about the Basin and Wantirna South this weekend, as you said.
And personally, we're going to learn a lot as well, because we're actually going to be out at the game at Walker Reserve for 98.1 Radio Eastern FM. Tune in from 1 till 6 p.m. for a full call, and of course the pre-game and the post-game show to keep you in the loop of all the other scores around the EFL grounds. Ferntree Gully Eagles continued their great form in Division 4 on the weekend, Frosty. They beat Forest Hill quite convincingly in the end, and they're still undefeated. And they're sitting on top of the ladder with South Belgrave. And they've got a big game against Surrey Park this weekend. The Panthers are certainly a much improved team, no doubt about that. And Braden Ingram headed out to Ferntree Gully training during the week and caught up with their skipper, inspirational skipper, and he's a great bloke too, Paul Giannopoulos.
Thanks, Ben. Down here with Paul Giannopoulos. Paul, a very nice start to the season. 5 straight wins, a great win against Forest Hill last week. What's been the catalyst for these wins?
Look, we've got a good young side. We've got structures in place, and we're at the moment the guys are really sticking to them, and working really hard as a team to make sure we get the 4 points.
And which player from the pre-season and from last year's really jumped out as you was having a great start in the first 5 games?
Look, it's actually been pretty exciting. We've blooded a 17-year-old Robbie McComb. In the last 3 weeks, he's been in the best. He's, like I said, he's still 17 years of age, and I think he kicked 5 on the weekend, which is a pretty impressive effort for a young kid.
And you kicked 3 yourself, and 3 the previous week as well. You've got to be nice to get down there and kick a couple. Yeah,
well, the plan was to play down the back line for the season, but so far, we've been getting utility role at the moment. So, back line forward, bit in the midfield. So, I'm not sure where I'll start this week, but it's always fun kicking goals.
So, enjoying the shake-up, moving around, just, filling a role every week?
Yeah, that's it. Like, obviously, set to play down back most weeks, but, if the forward line's not functioning or something's not working down there, I've been chucked down there, and I'm enjoying that. It breaks up the game, and like I said, it's always fun when you get down and kick a few goals. And if I have to go back at some point, it's always I enjoy the role down there too. So,
And you're certainly you're one of the elder statesmen of the group. I mean, how do you like the role? It's an inevitable role that comes about for the elder players. Do you enjoy it?
Look, you wouldn't play footy if you didn't enjoy being around the club. And like I said, the list here is so young, and a few of the older guys retired over the last couple of years, and it sort of left me on my own as the only bloke over 30. So I obviously got the nickname Fossil. And yeah, like I said, it's pretty fun when you're playing with 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds that are playing their first games of footy. I'm nearly twice their age, which is scary.
You speak of that younger group, and why do you think that's working? I mean, you see so often those young groups really struggle, but they just seem to have gelled together.
Yeah, like I said, the juniors have been winning the 19s premierships now for the last 4 or 5 seasons. So the kids coming through have got some talent, and yeah, obviously, there is a couple of older heads there, which we sort of work well across the ground, and the young guys coming in know their roles and what they've got to do. And Bernie doesn't put too much pressure on them, other than to go out there and play footy.
And although it's been a good start to the year, your slow first quarters are certainly worrisome. I mean, last week you kicked 1-8 to Forest Hills, 5-2. Is it something that you're looking to address, or that you have tried to address already?
Yeah, we tried to change the warm-up against Forest Hill this week, and look, it wasn't so bad a start. We kicked 1-8, so if we had kicked a little bit straighter, it could have been a lot closer at quarter time. But yeah, obviously, it sort of crept up on us in the last couple of games that we have been starting slow. So yeah, we obviously just tried to change things up in the warm-up, and yeah, like I said, it wasn't overly bad on the weekend. We just sort of didn't kick straight. So hopefully, we get on top of that, because when you come up against some good sides, you don't want to give them a 5 or 6 goal head start like we've been doing.
And this week, huge game against Surrey Park. Probably wouldn't have imagined saying that at the start of the season. You would have thought it'd be an easy game, but it's probably going to be a tough one. Look, they're really going to test you. What do you think? What do you think you got to deliver this weekend?
Well, like you said, it's a bit of an unknown quantity. We're not sure exactly where they're going to be at. The results seem to be pretty good, and the sides they've beaten them pretty comfortably, and their sides we've played. So obviously we know we're in for a hard match at home. Like I said, we tend to play the big ground well with the young guys running and spreading out on the space. So yeah, we'll try and stick to our game plan, and hopefully that'll hold up against them. But like I said, yeah, we're not too sure what to expect from Surrey. Obviously, yeah, pretty much a new team by the looks of the names in the best and the results.
Well, Paul, if you win this week, you go 6 and zip into the bye, and then a huge game against South Belgrade. So hopefully you can win this week, but good luck for this game and for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Over 450 umpires officiate in the Eastern Football League every single week. And one of those umpires is our very own Katrina Stupinski, who recently officiated at an even higher level. Michael Vozzo caught up with Katrina.
Okay, thanks very much, Benny. Today on EFL TV, we're doing something a little bit different. We've got one of our most promising umpires here with us, Katrina Stupinski. Katrina was very fortunate last week to be umpiring at the AFL National Youth Girls Championships in Shepparton, and she did a terrific job in that tournament. She was actually lucky enough to be voted as All-Australian umpire for the tournament, so terrific achievement. Welcome to the program, Katrina.
Thanks for having me, Boz.
No worries at all. Katrina, do you want to maybe just give us a bit of a background on how you got into umpiring?
I started running the boundary for my younger brother. I also took the route of being a trainer, but I've always loved my footy and started off doing the juniors, and then last year made the transition to seniors, and it's been a successful one so far. Yeah,
terrific. And last year, Katrina had a terrific season. You umpired the Under-17s A Grand Final, and also earned promotion into Division 2 senior football as a female. That's a terrific achievement.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to keep working hard and keep climbing through the ranks and get as far as I can.
Obviously, being able to or get appointed to the National Youth Girls Championships was a highlight, but obviously doing a grand final at the championships and then getting the All-Australian was a terrific achievement and something you must be proud of.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely one of my goals this year to be umpiring at the championships, and then to get the grand final, you always aim for that, and then the All-Australian was just the icing on the cake. So I'm very pleased to be ticking the first goal of the year off my list and just now working hard for the next one.
Terrific. Katrina, thanks very much for joining us today, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Benny.
Righto, Peter, time for the EFL TV Play of the Week and the Play of the Year. 4 amazing nominations last weekend, and it was a bit of a 2-horse race in terms of the votes, but a late voting surge saw Play D get up. Check this one out. Congratulations to Croydon's Jamie Hoffman, who was voted last week's Play of the Week. He's a superstar. Was very close to getting a nomination for this week as well. But we've got 4 other nominations from across Division 1 and Division 2. Have a look at these 4 plays, A, B, C and D, and then get on the poll after you've seen these 4 plays. Check these out.
Handball 34, kick 15. Handball.
Great goals there, Frosty, from players across Division 1. Liam Kenny from Knox, George Angelopoulos from Noble Park, Andrew McGuinness from East Ringwood, and Taylor Gilchrist from Balwyn. How can you split them? What's your favourite?
Oh, there's 2 that I really like there, Ben. I really like that Taylor Gilchrist run, taking the ball off half-back, running through the middle there of Balwyn Park. But my favourite, just for sheer class, I saw it live last weekend out at East Ringwood Reserve. That Andrew McGuinness goal right on the boundary. Had time to sum up his options, look inboard, nothing on. So just banana the ball round from deep inside that forward pocket. That was just absolute class.
And our search for the best/worst haircut in the EFL continues to gather momentum. We had a couple of entries during the week, Frosty, but one caught our eye because it's Umpires Appreciation Round a couple of weeks ago, and we had Michael Vosloo interviewing Katrina earlier on, so we thought we'd give the umpires a little bit more love, and there's plenty of love in this haircut.
There is. Have a look at this one from Ashley Hawkes, the boundary umpire that umpired the Division 1 Grand Final last year. What's going on there? I tell you, umpires shouldn't be trying to attract that much attention to themselves.
Well, there you have it, Frosty. Another edition of EFL TV done and dusted. Some huge games across all 4 divisions, but particularly looking forward to heading out to Wanturna South and the Basin this weekend.
We're going to find out if the Basin are that real deal, if they're a genuine contender. I'm looking forward to seeing if they've got what it takes to match it with one of the powerhouses in Division 3 in Wanturna South.
And looking forward to hearing some of those very, very special comments from your good self on the weekend. Thanks for your time, and thanks for joining us on EFL TV. We'll catch you next week.